Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about 4 different things. We're going to be talking about gold, silver, platinum, and copper. I actually started filming this video already, and then I slipped up, had a brain freeze. I thought I said the wrong Federal Reserve Chairman, and then I got froze up, and so I had to redo it, and it turned out I actually said the right one, even though it was off the cuff, and I was like, ugh, what a mistake. How did I do that? And then I ended up already canceling the video, so it's bumming to be right after you had filmed it and then delete and then find out you were right. So with that being said, it's going to be an exciting video, especially because I already went over it once. We're going to be talking tonight, like I said, about 4 different precious metals. I know some people will say maybe there's only 2 precious metals. Some people will say it doesn't matter. All commodities are going higher. And I actually believe the later of the two. I think all commodities are going higher, whether we're talking about platinum, gold, silver, cotton, wheat. It doesn't matter. Everything is going higher. Why? Because we're in inflation. And it's only going to get worse. And a lot of people don't realize that. There's almost no way out of this doom loop that we're in. However, they could end up doing a couple things. We might briefly touch on a couple of the plans that they have in place to try to right this ship. However, I personally think the interest is too great. The debt is growing too fast. And essentially, there's not really many ways out of it except for the hard steps, and they're not going to do that. So we're just going to be faced with the kick the can down the road. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute too. So if you enjoyed today's video, do the ultimate thing, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, leave me a comment. I love reading y'all's comments. Like I said, a very special member of the channel actually asked me in a comment what my thoughts were about buying copper rounds for $1.29 a round. I think that's important that we talk about that. We've actually talked about it on the channel. I think copper is going up. Everything is going up. And a lot of that stems from the value of the dollar going down. And so, like I said, we're going to jump right in. If you enjoy it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. So, okay, so right off the bat, let's take a quick look at what silver's at. Silver right now, that's bumming. We were actually at 47.20 when I actually shot this the first time. Now we've dropped down to 46.91. That's okay. This is just a little drop right now. We'll see how this plays out. I'm not at all worried about this. We've still got silver up 6 cents or 0.13%. Still looking good. We're seeing it climb on a regular basis right now. A lot of people, they wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is, well, hopefully watch the video, but I'm just kidding. I'm sure they probably check the price of silver first and then jump over here and watch this video, because that's honestly what I would do. Gotta know what the spot price is. Taking a quick look at gold, we got gold trading at 38.64 right now, taking a little bit of a pullback, but still up for the day in overnight trading at $32 or 0.83%. It's kind of interesting. We're seeing gold continue to climb. We're seeing silver have its big jump and then stop and just fiddle around, and then a jump, then stop, fiddle around. I still think that's exciting, especially when I look at the assets based by market capitalization. Right now, we have silver in 6th. We're working our way up to pass up Google. I don't think it's going to pass it up right off. I actually did some math yesterday, and I was like, okay, so we need silver to go up about $7 in order to pass Google. Basically, every penny it goes up here, the market cap goes up by about $2 billion. But here's the problem with that. If silver is going up, it's easy to calculate. But at the same time, when you got Google falling by 1.14%, it makes it even easier to end up passing it up, because you've got one going up and one coming down. Eventually, it's just a matter of time before they pass. And I think ultimately, like I said multiple times, we're going to see silver move into the 2nd spot at a certain point down the road. We've got Bitcoin right now trading at 113,934 on this. It is sitting at 8th right now. As you can see right here, 113,979. Struggling But floating, we see it come down, then a little pop up, then come down some more, and then back and forth. A lot of people are excited what's going on. Some people are nervous. I talk to some people, and they're really fearful about what's going on. I can't get too much into politics because I know there are people that invest in precious metals that are on both sides of the line. And that's okay because it doesn't really matter who's in office. It doesn't really matter what's going on. What is happening is whether they are left or right, we're seeing practices that are hurting the dollar. We're seeing them continue to print. So it's kind of something that once you understand that, I mean, we're just paying too much on interest. Why? Because the debt has just gotten out of control. I mean, look at this. I mean, you can sit here and literally watch it go up $1 million like every couple seconds. Literally, here we are. We're about ready to hit 816 million. Now, I'm not even saying the 37 trillion, 544 billion, 816 million. And you can see how quick it's climbing. And there's really no end in sight with that. Taking a quick look at platinum. We're actually seeing it drop right this minute. However, it was up pretty good a little bit ago, and that was probably a good time to film, but unfortunately I slipped up a couple too many times and couldn't roll with the video. A lot of people ask me my thoughts on platinum. Why am I against it? It's not necessarily that I'm against it. It's not that I'm against it. I've said this time and time again. I'm not a rich man. I'm just an everyday person like you that is obsessed with economics. I literally sit and first thing I get up in the morning, I look at what I can read about. I go to bed at night, I'm reading or watching other people that study this stuff. And I really think that gold and silver have the best future potential. If I had to pick one investment, I could only invest in one, I would take silver. I've talked about this before. When gold was at $2,000 and silver was at $20. And I said, what do you think will double first? I would always ask that question in a lot of my old videos. What's more likely that we're going to see first? $4,000 gold or $40 silver? And a lot of people saw my point. $40 silver was just a joke. It really was. I mean, with the manipulation that's out there, it should be a lot higher than it is. Same with gold. I mean, gold ain't as manipulated as silver, but gold should be a lot higher. But silver is just insane. I was listening to something today that they claim that it comes out of the ground 8-1. Now, I've always chose to use the 12-1 number. Whether you believe it's 8-1, whether you believe it's 12-1, it's an opinion. It depends where you get your numbers from, whether you're looking at the mining numbers, whether you're looking at the geology numbers in the Earth's crust, it doesn't matter. Wherever you look, you might find something a little different. But clearly it's not 100-1. It's not 80-1. We're sitting right now at 82-1. Clearly, that should not be the price. Well, what's going on? Well, you've got manipulation of the silver price. You've got a lot of money flowing into gold because people are scared and they know what's going on. And we've already printed so much money. Countries want something solid. They're getting tired of their dollars. Now, I'm not against the U.S. dollar. Obviously, I am in America. I benefit from having the U.S. dollar be the world reserve currency. In fact, I fear what's going to happen when we lose that status. Then some people will say that we've already lost that status to a certain point, maybe to a certain point, but the dollar is still accepted everywhere. People like dollars in general. And so, you know, I think we've got a little bit ahead of us still, a little bit of a road ahead of us, a lot of time to start planning, preparing for what's coming. When I look at platinum, though, I mean, yeah, I got to say, platinum has been the #1 investment for the year. There's nothing that I found that has done better than platinum. With that being said, silver is second, gold is third. Does it worry me having the second and the third investments? No. When I look at platinum and I look year to date, I see this huge jump that happened right around May, and it went on until July. So May, June, and July, we had a tremendous up. And we're seeing it start coming up again in September 18th. We're seeing it move higher. But a lot of this higher had to do with, I believe, Fed cutting interest rates, and people are realizing now inflation is going to get worse. They're looking for assets that they view undervalued. Now, when I go back a ways, though, I don't really see any crazy, anything too crazy. I see a huge spike here. It comes back down. Another push up here, comes back down. We've had a long run of it staying fairly low. We're seeing it go straight up. This is not, in my opinion, a slow and steady climb. Is other assets going up? Does it look like gold is shooting up? Gold has been slow and steady, in my opinion. Silver, we're seeing it happen right now, but I worry that a lot of that has to do with the manipulation is breaking down. Like I said, I'm not against you. I'm not your enemy if you are extremely pro-platinum. When I've seen dealers take in platinum, I see that they have a hard time getting rid of it. I see people have a hard time selling it when they take it to the pawn shop. I don't see that with gold and silver. So I personally am not a fan. I stay away from it. But I'm not against anybody that invests in it. So that's my thoughts on platinum. It's still a commodity. It's still going to go a whole lot higher. Everything is going to go a whole lot higher. Now, the next thing I want to talk a little bit about is copper. Obviously, and I say copper, and I don't even think I have the copper price. Man, how did I forget that? Spot price of copper. Got to have the copper price. I mean, that's like required. So pulling up copper right now. This is the actual copper price from the Kitco. I always like using the Kitco numbers. We're going to talk about a few different things with copper. So right now, copper is sitting at 464. You've got it down 0.5% right now. I do believe there's a fair amount of manipulation on copper. Copper is heavily an industrial metal. I would even go so far as to say it's probably only an industrial metal. Now, some people would say that's not true. Copper's a monetary metal as well. Here's the thing. Many people out there will buy gold. They'll buy silver. They'll even buy platinum, palladium. It's a small, essentially, a small, I won't say investment. It takes up a small amount of space to hold a fair amount of money. If you're dealing in something that's $4.64, you're going to need a lot of metal to put any sizable amount of money. Do I think copper is going to run? Absolutely. I think there's so many different things that could excel the copper price to whole new levels. I think copper is even going to go so far as to be the next silver. Those of us that have been stacking silver for years, and we've seen it climb from $4 or $5 all the way up to $50 and then get pulled back to $20 and then hover in the $20 range for a long time and then finally start breaking out. That's kind of what the path that I see copper on right now. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Those of us that have been stacking silver have been stacking for a long time. If it's anybody that has any sizable stack, they've been stacking for a while. We've had a lot of years to pick up at cheaper prices. And now we're seeing it run. I would strongly recommend some sort of copper. But the question comes up, are you paying too much for your copper? If you're buying copper rounds, and some people might be wondering, what do you mean by copper rounds? So let's pull. Let's see where it's at. This right here. If you're looking at copper rounds like this, and this is not an advertising for SD Bullion, but it's something I'm pointing out. And I'm not going to say these are bad to buy. There's a lot of reasons people buy these. Maybe you got a kid, you want to get him into coin collection, and you want a little Santa Claus copper round to give him so he can feel like he holds something. And he does. Copper is good. But when you do the math at $1.50 an ounce, think about what you're spending per pound. What you're spending per pound of copper. I actually bought a pound of copper at one point. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I bought a 5-pound bar of copper because I was like, wait a minute, how is a pound now? So this is a 1-pound bar, copper bar. I actually bought one of these, but it was like 5-pound, I think. When I first got into stacking, I thought these were so cool. I always wanted to pick them up. And back then they were only 99 cents. Today, you're talking about $1.50 a piece, unless you're buying like an R choice and you don't know what you'll get. You get some cool stuff. Are there some really cool copper designs? Absolutely. It's cool art. It's fun. However, what would you use it for? A lot of people want to say you can use it to barter. And that's absolutely true. You can use it to barter. Are you going to get rich off it? Probably not. Probably not. $1.50 an ounce. You're spending a lot of your premiums today. Are there other ways to get copper? So real quick, I want to take a quick minute and pull up this website. So this is Coinflation. And this is interesting because you can pull up base metals in coins. So you can pull up quarters, you can pull up silver quarters, you can pull up whatever coins, if I can get it to go back for me. Doesn't want to do it. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning. Okay, so when you pull up coin calculators right here, you've got silver coins. So that would be, so you could look up your half dollars, your dimes, your quarters, all that type of stuff that are silver. But under that, a little lower, you have what's called base metal coin values. And this is interesting because when you click on this, we're going to click on it right here, you have a choice to pick whatever one you want. Now, since we're talking about copper, I think we should talk a little bit about pennies. And what do I mean by the pennies? So there's two types of pennies. You have a penny that is 95% copper, or you have a penny that is 97% zinc, 97.5% zinc. We're going to talk first about the copper penny, but then we're going to get into the zinc pennies. And I'm going to explain why just boxes of pennies could do you very well. So the first thing we're going to pull up is the copper pennies. Let me clear out these advertisements. I can't help that. Some of these websites, they destroy you with ads, with different commercials and stuff. Okay, so right here, the way this works, you select what the coin is that we're talking about. Then you come down here and you type in how much. So as you can see, the example says 10.25. Obviously, that's $10.25. We're going to put 1.00, meaning 100 copper pennies. And then we're going to hit calculate. So 100 copper pennies. Now, it's important to know not all pennies are copper. A copper penny is anything prior to 1982. 1982, there are some copper, there are some zinc. You can weigh it. I don't go through all that, and I'm going to explain why at the end. I just, whatever, a penny's a penny. So we're going to hit calculate. $3.08 right now for 100 pennies. Well, 100 pennies is $1. So basically 3x. Why? So when you look at the breakdown of these pennies prior to 1982, you basically have copper sitting right now at $4.66, and that little 0.05% zinc, because it's 95% copper, 0.0, or actually probably even a little less exact, but needless to say, it's saying that zinc is $1.34 a pound. So if you've got copper pennies, you're in a good spot. You've got copper that you can use, you can trade, you can barter. If copper prices go up, you can sell it. Especially they're fixing to get rid of the penny at the end of the year, and that's a key factor. That's telling you right there that inflation is ramping up. If they're willing to get rid of the penny, that means the penny ain't buying you anything. And soon it might even be the nickel. But like I said, I don't know if any of you guys have ever hunted a box of pennies. It is time consuming. And then what do you do with all those zinc pennies? You cash them back in. So we're going to pull up the zinc penny real quick. And I'm going to use the same calculated numbers for this one. You've got the zinc penny right now. Man, this is driving me nuts, all these ads popping up. 100 zinc pennies Calculate 79 cents. A zinc penny is almost worth a penny when you think about it. Now, I know some people want to say, well, the cost that they put into making a penny is, even a zinc penny is worth more than a penny. I'm not worried about their cost. Their cost is essentially lost in the creation of the penny. What's important with the penny? The material that it's made out of. If it's made out of copper, it's copper. If it's made out of zinc, it's zinc. Now, here's the thing. 79 cents for every 100 pennies. Right now, you're saying, oh man, that's a waste though. But here's the catch. Let's say you buy a box of pennies. Normally, you're going to search them. But like I said, a lot of people don't have time to search them. But if you just buy a box of pennies and hold it, chances are the zinc is going to go up. The copper ones are going to continue to go up. And we're not even calculating what's going to happen when they get rid of the penny. As of right this minute, I think this is important that we look at eBay and look at what people are selling pennies for. This right here, this is a $54 box of 2,500 pennies. Unsearched. You got the potential to find wheat pennies. You got the potential to find copper pennies. Somebody went to the bank and they bought this for $25. Now, here's the thing. From texting and emails, I talk to a lot of you guys. This comment that asked me, and you know who you are, I'm envisioning this person has his own business. He's going to work every day. He doesn't have time to hunt pennies. But he does have something that a lot of other people don't have. Depending on the person, I guess you can say. He probably goes to the bank and does money drops. He goes to the bank and probably maybe even gets change if he needs it for cash registers, whatever the case may be. For him to ask for an extra box of pennies every time he goes in there, he's out $25. $25. He might have a spot in his office, a closet, somewhere he can store them. Maybe he's got a storage unit somewhere with miscellaneous stuff. He could store a box of pennies in there. Maybe he wants to bring some pennies to his house, start picking them up. It sounds weird right off the bat to some people because I have a lot of friends that own their own businesses. And when I tell them, buy pennies, dude, they're like, dude, how much are you really going to make? Silver? Yeah, I understand. I made a ton off silver. Gold? They've made a ton off of gold. But how much wealth can you put into pennies? Here's the thing. What's right off the bat? A $25 box of pennies that's selling on eBay for $54, $55. Shipping's not that much. I think shipping is like $7. So this person's making like $20 off a $25 investment. He's making an 80%. Oh, well, they probably don't sell any. Look at this. 217 have sold at $54.95. Scroll down. This one, $37.95. He's probably only making 20% because it costs about $7. He's probably making about $5, maybe $6. He sold 101. These things are selling like hotcakes. When you scroll through on what's selling, $36. He sold 24 of them. $59. He sold 76. Look at about $30. No wonder this guy's selling a ton. I don't even know how he's doing this. He ain't making anything. Sealed bank rolls, $50, 50 rolls, $25, unopened, unsearched. Buy now, $30. Oh, delivery, $21.05 on this one. He's making money off the delivery because it doesn't cost $21 to deliver a box of pennies. And he's making $5 off the purchase price. He goes to the bank and he buys these at $25 a box. And look, he's got a bunch of them there. And as you scroll through, the ones that have free delivery, they're charging you more. You can go to the bank and pick them up for next to nothing, $25 a box. And if something happens and you didn't put no time into it, you already went to the bank. I love pennies. I really do. I don't have the time to sit here and search through them. I'm not going to give away hours a day on searching pennies. I'm sitting here laughing a little bit because I spend hours a day sometimes playing video games, but I won't do it searching pennies. So it's kind of comical. needless to say, people do hunt these. What's going to happen when you can't go to the bank and buy them for $25 a box? What do you think is going to happen? These people that are selling them here, their inventory is going to dry up real quick. Unless they've had the foresight to just stockpile the heck out of them, their inventory is going to dry up. I wouldn't be surprised when zinc goes up a little bit that they just melt them all down. Melt them all down. Run them through a machine. There's big machines out there that can do a box in like a minute. When they do this, they're going to separate the copper, melt it down, sell it for copper, separate the zinc, sell it off for zinc, and boom. They're going to be gone forever. I've been hearing this stop the melt. What the heck? My computer's making noise all of a sudden. I've been reading a lot about this stop the melt. I see the comments. I didn't even know what it meant. I'm hoping y'all can't hear that clicking. I don't know why my fan on my computer just started clicking. Maybe I'll close out a couple of these windows here. Boom. Boom. Give me a quick minute. I'm going to close out platinum. Boom. Let's see. I'll keep those open. Well, I'll close this one out real quick. I just don't like that clicking. I don't even know if y'all can hear it. I'm going to close this one out since we're over here now anyway. Boom. Okay. So, jump back over here. So, here's the thing. People are buying boxes of pennies. They like hunting them. And that's what they do. I have a couple of friends that hunt pennies on a regular basis. They're older. They don't really have a lot to do, and they just sit and watch a movie and hunt pennies. And they find some pretty good ones. So if you go to the box and you go to the bank and you buy a box of pennies for $25, is it going to matter if you don't hunt it? No. Some people might be like, yeah, T, but I mean, how many? I'm just throwing money away. I'm just putting money. You're not throwing away money. It's still $25. My son actually asked me when I first talked about this, because he actually had a box of pennies. He went to the bank on his own, bought a box, and put it in his apartment. And I went over there and I seen it. And he goes, I'm just I don't understand though. What happens if I get stuck with all these pennies? Get stuck? I don't know. Are you going to get stuck with a bunch of Eisenhower dollars? We don't make Eisenhower dollars anymore. We don't interact with them anymore. You don't go to the bank, and rarely do you get them at the bank. They won't order them for you. An Eisenhower dollar is going to be like a penny. They'll be there. If you need the money and you need to cash them all in, you'll be able to. But I'm convinced you'll be able to sell them, just like an Eisenhower dollar. And not all Eisenhower dollars are silver. So don't think for a minute that, Eisenhower. I hear Sacagaweas. Some people like those. Susan B. Anthony's. Some people like them. People buy them for more than face value. As you scroll down through here, though, we will find another important thing. And you'll start seeing a lot. If you look around, I would never order pennies on eBay. The people that are making money like that is the post office. Unless you're buying a box that someone already searched for you, then maybe. And I am trying to work a deal out right now with someone that is swimming in copper pennies. He's got a lot of pennies. He's sometimes feels like I feel with my boxes of pennies. And I get frustrated sometimes. But here's the thing. I feel like we're right around the corner from seeing something happen. Once the pennies are gone now, a lot of people say, they're just going to stop making them. They're not going to stop using them. Maybe. But what do you think is going to happen to all the pennies? You think people are going to all of a sudden suck them all up? Right now, when I go to the bank and I get a box of pennies, here's the way I think of it. I actually see boxes come in of older pennies. Hand-rolled. Saw an old man took some into the bank probably about a month or two ago. He said, I want to hurry up and cash them in before they're obsolete. They're not going to be obsolete. I mean, could anything happen? Could you have, let's take some currency from Mexico, some change that was made out of copper 50 years ago, and they no longer use it because they've devalued the peso and I can't remember what they call their pennies. I don't know. Needless to say, I mean, people will still buy that up. Why? Because they're copper. They're copper. People are going to always want pennies. Now, here's the catch. What happens if you go to the bank, though? So I just laid out the scenario where you can't really go wrong. But now I'm going to lay out a different scenario. Let's say you go to the bank and they give you a box of brand new pennies. I have a couple I have like 10 boxes of 2017 P pennies. You're probably not going to find an uncirculated box of 2017. Let's hit this 2023 P pennies. Unopened rolls from 2023. These are uncirculated pennies. Let's click this for a minute. And let's see what an uncirculated box penny sells for. That's not uncirculated. They don't say uncirculated. This one right here is uncirculated. 2023 Denver mint box full of Lincoln pennies. Uncirculated. 50 rolls. Lot 2. I don't know if that means there's going to be 2 when we click on it. I'm going to click on it. But I'm not buying it. I'm just looking. Lot of 2. Okay, so this right here, think about this. And they're charging. Are they charging you shipping on this one? As low as 40. Oh, no, that's. Do they have shipping? Let's see. Shipping free. Okay, so shipping's free. So this is $50, but these are uncirculated pennies. These are ones people really like. These are the ones that people will pay more for. That's $120 essentially for $50. He's making $70 minus whatever he spends on shipping. You can actually put 2 boxes in a flat rate box and profit. Now, but I told you a minute ago, we're going to look up another thing. I wanted to look up this one, 2025 box of pennies. Now, I want to wait a second before I click it because I want to tell you guys this. If you happen to get one of these 2025 boxes of pennies, people thought 2025 would be the last year of the penny. So, naturally, people want them. Uncirculated boxes of pennies. And here you have $100 plus $7 shipping, $99 with free delivery. As you scroll through, see these are all uncirculated, $150, $400. Now, I got to say, these were running like $400 or $500 not too long ago. But once they've officially announced they're going to have penny blanks into the new year for the first few months, all of a sudden, people don't want 2025s. They want 2026s. Are the 2026s out yet? Probably not. Will they make them? They'll probably make them. I've heard some people say it's the anniversary of the penny. I don't know if it's going to be the 125th anniversary, the 250. Let's see here. What year was the penny made? Okay, so 1793. Okay, so it's not that one. I thought they said that it was the anniversary of that. Let's see here. I'm looking for something that would distinguish an anniversary. I can't remember what they said, the anniversary. Is there a big anniversary for the penny coming up? Yes, 2026. So that's next year. That will be the last of the pennies. They will be making them. Okay, so marks a significant anniversary for the penny. As it is the final year of its production. Check. We've already talked about that. This coincides with the United States semi-quintal 250th anniversary, which the U.S. Mint will commemorate with redesign circulating coins. Oh, wow. I didn't know they were going to redesign multiple coins. That's a new one on me. I wouldn't even be surprised if they can the design on the nickel and roll out some kind of a zinc nickel. It'll be exciting to see. So where am I going with this? There's almost no scenario where you could lose out by buying a box of $25 in pennies. Do they take up space? Yes, they do. You're going to put them in your closet. You're going to put them in your storage. You're going to put them in your office. You're going to have some copper in there. Leave me a comment. If you are a coin hunter, how many copper pennies do you find in a box of $50? So $50 has 5,000 pennies. How many coppers do you find? I would guess you're going to run probably out of 5,000, maybe 500, 10%, 1 in 10 pennies. Some people will probably say it's closer to 5 pennies. Smart money, is picking up copper pennies. If I had a cash register, I have a friend that does this. He has a cash register. He has the pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and then he has that extra spot right there where he usually keeps a couple of rolls of coins. He doesn't keep rolls of coins in there, though. What does he keep in there? Copper pennies. If he finds one good, he pulls it and throws it on that side. And at the end of the shift, at the end of the day, he ends up taking them all. He keeps all the copper pennies. So he's hunting them throughout the day. Big money is going to need copper. Copper is going to go higher. I would not want to pay too much for copper rounds that I may or may not get my money back from anytime soon. Here's the thing. If you go by, I don't know, I want to do one last calculation for you guys. Is copper calculated in troy ounces? Yes. Copper prices are calculated to determine globally in commodities, supply, in troy ounces. Okay, so I want to say it's 12. How many troy ounces are in a troy pound? Is it 14?
1 ounce is equal to 0.911 troy ounces. To convert from ounces to troy ounces, divide units of mass by 1.1.
Don't talk. Clear. Hold on. How many troy ounces are in a troy pound? 12. Okay, so
1 troy pound.
Okay,
is
stop.
To 12 troy ounces.
I don't want to hear you talking right now. Okay. I don't know what just came up. Pfft. Okay, so 12. Where am I going with this? Okay, so at 12, I know where I was going. I just want to do something real quick. Boom. I just thought of something real quick, and now I'm having a brainstorm. When I sell my copper, I sell it by the pound. They don't buy it by the troy pound. When I sell scrap copper, they're giving me pounds. I wonder if they're selling it by the pound or if they're selling it by the troy pound. I don't know. I'll have to think about that in a little bit and look that up as a side topic. But where am I going with this? 1.49 times 12. You're paying $17.80 per pound of copper. Do you think copper is going to go there right off the bat? Probably not right off the bat. Are we going to get there? I think we'll get there. I do. But I don't want to wait all that time to get there while I'm sitting there holding, when I know I can hold scrap wire, which is a common thing. A lot of people tell me, just buy scrap copper in the form of wire. And that's something I do. Because I'm an electrician by trade, I pick up scrap wire whenever I do a project. Sometimes small scraps I can actually reuse. I know some people be like, what kind of jerry rigging are you doing? I'm not sitting here splicing 1 foot with 1 foot. But if I get like a 12-foot piece or a 10-foot piece, I'm not quick to want to sell that. Why? Because I might need it. Someone might want a receptacle for a TV put up 4 feet off the ground, and all they got to do is run that little piece of wire up from the receptacle that they already have 16 inches off the ground and roll, or 24 inches off the ground, and roll it up higher. So important to just think about how much you're paying for this stuff. I don't want to give away my profits later to someone today. I want all the profits for myself. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not a rich man. I'm just a guy who struggles to save a little extra. Sometimes I will eat ramen noodle to save a little bit extra money so I can buy a couple extra ounces of silver. I buy what I can. I think assets are going to go a whole lot higher. Wow, look at that drop right there. Damn, that was quick. We saw it go from 47.11 all the way down. Damn, 35-cent drop. But who knows? I doubt this is it. This is the big one. We're going to see a lot of up and down. We're seeing a lot more volatility when it comes to silver right now. I'm super excited. We've got the first coming up in, Wednesday is going to be the first. Wednesday might be the last day. 30 days has September. Okay, so the Wednesday is the first. If we don't see that dip that I talked about before Friday, that's it. It's over. It's over. I think the prices are going to run a whole lot higher. I think we will see some sort of a little pullback, but I don't think we're going to see enough of a pullback. I'm a little discouraged right now. What kind of pullback do I think we'll see? Just enough to not make it look so good on the charts, because right now the charts are looking awesome. I mean, I would not even be surprised if we have a rough day in the economy Tuesday while y'all are watching this video. We'll see how it plays out. It could take out stocks, even bring stocks down, could bring down Bitcoin. We could see a lot of stuff come down. Is it going to be the end of the world? Nope. I'm not worried about that at all. With that being said, I will probably wrap up here, but I think I gave you guys a lot to think about. Only 40 minutes tonight. I gave you guys a lot to think about when it comes to platinum, when it comes to copper. The main purpose of the video was to talk about copper. Like I said, I had a subscriber tell me he really wanted to know my thoughts on copper, and he's been a subscriber since almost the beginning of, he's been a member since almost the beginning of the memberships. So really important that I did this video for him. With that being said, special thank you to everybody, especially the members. I can't thank the members enough for helping support that channel. To become a member, it's only $1.99. I will be doing the members event a couple days late this month, only because I had some stuff happen this past weekend. But it will happen. The prize is already ready to go, and someone's going to win it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Only $1.99 to be a member. It helps out the channel. With that being said, I am going to wrap up here. Did we hit it? We did not hit it. It's coming down now, but I think it's a temporary down, so I'm not worried about it at all. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you all. I can't thank you all enough. Excuse me. I'm tired tonight. So with that being said, going to wrap up the video here. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day and a great rest of your week. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.